I wanted to ask you your thoughts on how harmful, biased, or selective history lessons are. To explain the question a bit further, I am Belgian. Again, we stand in solidarity with the people of Belgium after this attack. Anyway, continuing. I am a Belgian who went to Japan for a year on an exchange program where I attended high school, first and second year, for the duration of my stay. I wish I got to spend a year in Japan. I only got to spend a month in Japan. Anyway, among the classes I attended was the history class. For the first time, we went over Napoleonic history, which was a bit of a joke to the teacher, as those events had just about no impact on Japan itself. Later, we went over World War I for several weeks, and the teacher kept highlighting how the Japanese went to aid the Allies in Europe against the Nazi Germans, and how they contributed oh so much to the Allied cause. The next thing we discussed was the Cold War. The gap in time periods was painfully obvious. I browsed the entire history books of the first and second year. World War I was rather in the middle of the second year's book for reference, and there wasn't even a chapter about World War II. Even worse, they hardly even mentioned it. I will not pretend like I understood all the things in my book, as my Japanese isn't that brilliant, but I could find mentions or maps or anything else in the time frame of about 1930 to 1945. Well, I could find lots of references to just about any other time period from antiquity to our current time. Another similar instance happened when I was talking about Belgium to my host family, and they asked me some questions about my home country. I told them a little anecdote about a great uncle of mine, the events of which took place in World War I. Now, when I mentioned the presence of German soldiers in my country and so on, my host parents would look at each other a bit cross, clearly being caught off guard and even seeming rather displeased by me, supposedly talking about the Second World War I. I quickly felt like I had to explain to them that I was just talking about the First World War in order to diffuse the situation. Japan, in fact, seems to be quite pleased with itself on their minor contributions to the Allies in World War I. On the point, I would like you to discuss, as I was wondering, what you think about countries biasing their history, when countries sweep bad events under the rug and highlight their great moments in order to give a more positive outlook in their own country, even more to their children. Did you ever experience such a point at any time in Canadian history lessons? How do you think this potential bias or being selective in one's books might affect a population? Do you think this is necessarily a bad thing? I like this example, Dieter. This is a great example in terms of countries which bias their history. And there's no question Japan is the worst at this. They have never once acknowledged or apologized for their role in atrocities that happened throughout their tenure in World War II. And there's even been instances of people who come forward and say, listen, it's time for us to acknowledge our role in World War II being assassinated. And I think this does have something to do with Japanese culture. They hate feeling ashamed. They hate being ashamed, being dishonored. So it's much easier just to sweep it all under the rug. I remember in high school, I took Japanese, and that was when I actually got to go to Japan for a month. But in the class itself, I wanted to do a project on the Japanese involvement in World War II, and my Japanese teacher kiboshed it, said I couldn't do it. I fought it hard and got into a lot of trouble for fighting it, but eventually I had to cave in. But on to the core of your question, whitewashing history in a positive light for your own country never does anybody any good. And for the most part, I never really experienced anything like that in my Canadian history classes. We talked both about some of our accomplishments in the world, such as our accomplishment at the Battle of Vimy Ridge in World War I, but we also looked at some of the nastier aspects of our history, such as residential schools for Native American children, such as interning Japanese people during World War II. So I got a nice three-dimensionalized picture of Canadian history, and I try and three-dimensionalize any history I read, recognizing where the biases may lie, and then doing my best to find alternate sources of information which may alleviate those biases. But the main problem here is that if you ignore the bad your country has done in its historical record, then you'll never be able to learn the most important lessons from history, which is what things you should avoid in the future. So it is absolutely wrong of Japan to try and cover up its involvement in World War II. But I feel that there is another phenomenon going on that I'd like to address, and something that can be just as bad as trying to cover up parts of your history. And that is ignoring good aspects or diminishing good aspects of your history based on the political climate surrounding it. And for this one, I'd really like to talk about the British Empire. And in today's society, saying anything good about the imperial legacy of the British Empire is seen as a bad thing to do. And there's no question about it. The British Empire did some awful things. But you can't ignore the good that it did in the world either. That's just as bad as focusing on only the bad. At the end of the day, the legacy of the British Empire is mixed. There is some good and some bad in there, and pretending that it's all one way to one side or to the other side does everyone a disservice. Let's take a guy like Gandhi. Let's say instead of being born in British-ruled India, Gandhi, or a Gandhi-esque figure, was born in the Soviet Union and agitated for the independence of one of the smaller peoples within the Soviet Republic. What do you think would have happened to him? Well, he would have been exiled to Siberia if he was lucky. Yet, for all the ills of the British Empire, Gandhi was still able to promote his cause of Indian freedom without having to worry about being hanged by the British government. What brought him down in the end was actually a Hindu nationalist who claimed that Gandhi was not extreme enough to fulfill their agenda. So, long story short, all I'm trying to say here is celebrate the good parts of your history. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you need to reflect upon the bad parts of your history, because no country is perfect. We've all done good and bad things in our history, and the only way we're gonna move forward to a better future is to understand the complete and unbiased picture of our country's history.
Slow